Oh my god. Oh my god.
Can you hear me?
Oh my god. I can hear you. Oh my god, can you hear me? Oh my god.
When I was at the point where I was connecting them to the artwork, I wasn't doing as good of a job as I could be doing.
Jaroid, I'm so happy, and I'm also half in tears because I didn't know if I could do it. I didn't know if I was going to be able to make a living doing this.
Okay, I'm doing this fun project with this artist I work with that we're gonna call Artist X. The goal in this project is to help Artist X sell as much artwork as possible over the next 30 days. I'm gonna share the entire process of helping Artist X sell art, and at the end, I will do an interview with Artist X and reveal who this artist. I'm not gonna share who the artist is up front because I don't want you to go on Artist X Instagram messaging Artist X and it interfere with the process. So I think it'll be a fun journey. We're gonna jump into a meeting with Artist X right now, and we're gonna get into the details and a strategy to help Artist X increase her art sales. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
I am here and I can see you.
Perfect. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good, I've got to say.
As far as what I think would be the best strategy to start bringing in art sales, and then included with that, I answer the questions that you wrote down ahead of time.
So the 7-day challenge was very interesting. I made my list and I executed on it on Saturday. And I only did about, I think it was like 24 or 25 people. I've been over this part of my contacts several times already. So these were people that I actually didn't necessarily think would buy, but I hadn't totally exhausted this quite yet. So the results of this have been that I still have a number of people to follow up with, but I did get one person that is potentially interested in buying a specific piece. We're having a call either tomorrow or Thursday. No, it's tomorrow. They and their wife would like to come for a studio visit. So that was really unexpected and a very good piece of news. The others, I realized as I was going through the process that I had a very difficult time writing down what the value was for them. And I kept feeling stuck. And so even though I really am an aggressive person, I wanted to do the 100. I thought, I feel like there's something maybe in the training that could help me. And so I decided to go to school. So now I'm actually partway through the Instagram training from the very beginning of the training. I've been going through, as you said, chronologically, and have identified a lot of places where I really could use some improvement. But the space that I've really been focused on the most is the why.
This we're gonna do. You got pen and paper handy. First, I think you should pat yourself on the back for even starting and getting in those conversations. And now having someone interested to come to your studio, look at your artwork, and potentially buy your piece. What I want you to do is we're gonna laser focus on that first, because as you're probably aware, my biggest thing is making a sale. We have a sale in front of us, so we're gonna talk about how to go about closing that sale first. And then second, we're gonna talk about how to really take full advantage of the rest of that list. And then third, we're gonna go about social media. The person that say, hey, I'm interested, can we come look at your work at the studio? Did they land on a specific artwork yet? Or are they coming to the studio to check out a body of your work and then land on a specific artwork?
I'm gonna find out more on the call tomorrow about that, because I had suggested a specific piece. I went straight off of the script.
Perfect.
Off-road. I was good, very good student. And I suggested a specific one, and I said, I really feel like this one represents, the twists and turns of your career, etc. And
what was their response?
They were very excited about it.
That particular piece.
Seen. Yes, they felt seen, and they were tearing up, and it was all on text, but this was what they were communicating. And I said, I really feel like this might be the right piece for you. And
I'm gonna interrupt you. When you told them that this is the piece for you, did they basically say like, I love it? And now, did you guys already plan a time for them to come to your studio, or y'all gonna chat again about a time to come to the studio?
We're gonna talk tomorrow. It's probably about both. piece and coming for a studio visit with their wife.
Okay, hyper focus on the one, because you need one goal in mind, right? Either we're gonna go to close the sale, or we're gonna get them to come to the studio. I recommend, if you already have some type of relationship with them, get them to come to the studio. And that's the only focus on the call. So that means you're getting on a call and you're saying, hey, I'm so happy you guys love the freaking piece. Obviously, like, I want to make sure it's the right decision for you guys. So how about you come over to the studio and I can explain a little bit about it. You can see it in person and really make sure like this is the one for you. You may even see an artwork or two along with that you may enjoy. So on the call, the only thing we're trying to do is what? Sell the studio visit. Nothing else. We're not trying to sell the artwork. We're just trying to get them to the studio. If they say, yes, that sounds great, the next thing we're going to do is set a specific date and time. Do not leave it up to them. You're a business person at this point, and it's going to be your job to set a specific date and time. And this is what it's going to sound like. Perfect. I'm actually free on Thursday or whatever that day may be at 2 p.m. Does that work for you? They're either going to say yes or no. If they say no, I'm busy this day, you're going to say no worries. What's your schedule looking like? What works? It's very crucial that you set a very specific date and time. Don't let them say, maybe sometime Friday we'll let you know. If they say something like that, you're going to say, no worries, my Friday is a little bit jammed. Do you know if like it'll be in the evening or the morning? Oh, we thinking morning. Okay, let me know just so I can make sure I have time for you guys with 10 a.m. work. So your job is to set a specific date and time for them to come to the studio. The day they're supposed to come to the studio, you're gonna text them again that morning saying, hey, I'm actually freeing up a little bit earlier. I'm super excited to be meeting you guys, to be hanging out with you guys around at 10. It's gonna be nice. Basically, I'm just following up, just reminding them in a way that just don't feel like a reminder. I'm just saying like, hey, super excited to be chatting with you guys. It's gonna be a good time. Can't wait to see you here at 10.
Okay.
Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna make this absolutely phenomenal, beautiful presentation for them. You may have all your artworks, cool. You can have them like have your studio. But the main piece they're interested, you want that piece to be hanging on the wall, center focus, no artworks is around it. It's kind of like isolated for them to view. Once they come in, they're gonna see the work. They're gonna be like, oh my God, it's beautiful. It's so talented. I love it. I want it, whatever, right? You're gonna be like, right? That's exactly what I was thinking. I know it'll be the piece for you guys, or the case may be. If you haven't talked about price, you're gonna talk about price and you're gonna close the deal right there in the moment. They should ask, so how much is it? When they ask this question, you're gonna do what I love to call stacking, like famous stacking. It's beautiful. Hyper focus on the first sale for now.
Got it.
Here's what's gonna be next. After you make the first sale, you're then gonna still build that list and reach out to more people. You mentioned to me, I can't remember exactly what you said, but you said you was reaching out to the people and then you realized something.
Yeah, I realized, first of all, that this list wasn't a list of people that might buy from me. And the second thing, it was just like me cleaning out my Rolodex for one last try with this group. But the other thing that I said was, I realized that when I was at the point where I was connecting them to the artwork, I wasn't doing as good of a job as I could be doing. And then I felt like within that, there was a gap.
This is what you're gonna do. This is how you're gonna become freaking phenomenal. You're gonna take the conversation with the two that's coming to your studio. You're gonna read over that conversation. And you're gonna pay attention to what you did correctly that led to them want to actually be interested in buying your work. And then you're gonna mimic that conversation over to the other conversations. So basically, we're reviewing what worked and just doing more of what already worked. Pay attention to the phrases that you said. Pay attention to how you got into the conversation. And you want to try to get as close to that for the other conversations. You're going to kind of switch focus. That's what you're going to do. Go for the sell on that. Get into conversation with more people. Mimicking kind of like what you did great in the first conversation. And you're looking to land more sales. Here's the cool part. If you can make that list even bigger, and you get really good at this. Let's say you just land 4 sales. Like this is one and just 3 more. That's it. You got like freaking $5,000 or so. Once this is completed, you want to go to social media, Instagram. This is what I want to do. I was prepared to talk about social media here with you, but I don't think I should. I think we should wait a week. You schedule a call with them, focus on closing that sale, focus on getting more conversations, and then at the end of the week, we're really going to the Instagram section. But I want you to double down on what you already have in front of you, because even if you could land just 2 or 3 sales, I consider it a big win.
When I started looking at this training, Jaroid, I know you're interrupting me, but let me finish this one thing. When I started looking at the training, I began to very clearly see where my gaps are and that I need to make adjustments. and I'm very committed to making those adjustments.
This is what I want you to do. Write this down. I want you to study and master section, I think it's section 4, the newfound reality. I know even if you already went through it, really dial it in. Dial in your why, your audience, how to communicate to them. I talk about all this in that section. And then after you watch that section, you then gonna watch section 6.5. 6.5 is gonna be a walkthrough of me teaching Instagram and TikTok live. After you watch 6.5, we're gonna then chat again. I want you to get through these sections first. And on the next call, we're gonna talk about strategy for social media. I think you can watch them both today. I think the main one though is gonna be the newfound reality and really dialing in who your artist is gonna be, how to communicate with them, how to basically present yourself. It's gonna basically identify this way of marketing yourself to that right audience. We're not gonna get fancy smancy. We're gonna make some sales first. So all I want you to do is laser focus on the next 2 days. We're gonna be result oriented and we're gonna be action oriented. Focus on just taking high action on a clear goal to get quick results. That's the game plan.
Got it.
My main thing is getting you selling. So I'm gonna stay focused. Your brain makes, here's how the brain works. The brain tells us we need to do more or do a lot. So if we do a lot, we will receive a lot. I believe that simplicity is key. You wanna keep it super simple and just focus on the 10% that gets 90% of the results. And that's just getting the right people see your work and having conversations, just like where you're at right now. You've been doing that. Now you got someone that's interested in buying a freaking $1,500 artwork. And you ain't do a lot, you just work smarter, right? And focused on the key things that bring in the sales.
Jaroid, I'm living and eating and breathing this, so
We're gonna make it happen.
I have to say, I'm just like, this was the piece that was missing. This, what you have to offer is the real deal.
You got some work to do. And then I'm gonna see you Thursday.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye, Michelle. So with this particular artist, the goal once again is to get her selling as quickly as possible. She's a freaking phenomenal artist. What I love is that she's extremely hardworking and action driven. Like she wanna take action and make it happen. So it's gonna be super cool. If she closed this $1,500 sale, that's gonna be her making her first sale within like the first 3 days, maybe 4 days, which I would consider a huge win for this artist. But honestly, that's just the beginning. She don't know once we get to the Instagram section. The goal is to start scaling this thing up to the freaking moon when we start getting her artwork in front of new people who never seen her work before, who have bigger budgets and willing to spend that money on her work. So it's gonna be exciting. Definitely gonna be exciting. I'll upload the next one whenever we have the next meeting to this channel and I'll keep you updated. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Peace.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Perfect. So this we're gonna do to maximize time. I want you to update me where you're at.
Okay, so I finished with going through the list and talked to the guy about the studio visit. I was not able to get him to commit to a date because he wants to bring his wife and he needs to talk with her. They decided they're probably not going to buy that piece because it was too small.
I want you to work on this. I want you to stop like labeling people as these certain like status symbols. So what I mean by this is like you did this with the first guy as well as the second guy, right? I want you to see yourself as like you're the badass. You're the one that they should be buying art from. You're the one that's in control. You're the one that's gonna put your foot down and like you're the one that's gonna take the lead. For the second person, here's what you're gonna say. Wherever that conversation may end it. We're gonna call this person Bob. Hey Bob, I know we have a really cool relationship. And I know we've been chatting back and forth. However, being someone that values my time and understand the position I'm currently in and where I'm trying to go, I wanna surround myself and communicate with those who respect that. With that being said, you show interest in my work. I would love to show you a few options. And then if you could see yourself owning one of them, we could talk about those details, maybe over a drink or so as a celebration.
Okay.
And now what happens is you ending with the same thing that he initially wanted to ask for to begin with. Like, so in short, I'm saying, hey, I'm cool with this. We could go get a drink. We could hang out, catch up. However, there's some important things I think needs to happen first on my end for me to feel secure to go and do that. And he have no
Okay.
choice but to understand this. It aligns with him because we kind of like, once again, labeling him as someone who's committed, driven, hardworking, which means he prioritizes career. And all I'm doing is asking for the same respect.
Amazing.
Got it?
Yeah, I got it. That's amazing.
Here's a key. With qualitative posts, we're not looking to go viral. We're looking to build a strong relationship with that audience. So literally, you're just sharing your journey. And here's the tough part. When you share your journey, guess what? You gotta share the ups and the downs and the circles, every part of it. You as the artist, you're the movement, right? And then your artwork become the byproduct. So I'm gonna explain what this means. You being a movement is basically saying like, hey, I'm the pioneer. I'm the person here that's gonna take lead and stand up for everyone that's in my position or in a position of wanting more for themselves and want to chase it and be a badass in this world and be committed to success, no matter where they're starting from. And then what happens is your artwork becomes a byproduct of that. So people buy your artwork as a representation of saying, this is who I am.
That makes so much sense.
Right? Like I tell you about artists right now inside the training. Recently got I showed you Heidi, got 2 million views, right? Her journey is like, hey, I was raising these kids. My kids left. I kind of feel like, holy crap, I miss my freaking kids. I started combining their artwork and then created a unique piece between their work just so I could have something that makes me feel like my kids are still home even though they're not. And what happens is her sharing that journey, I'm talking about, at this point, millions of moms liked her video, shared her video, connected with her video, and hundreds of them reached out to her to say, hey, I need one of those artworks. But it's because of that journey.
Got it. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. You know, I just, as I kept going through this training, I'm like, I'm going to have to just start being like, I'm going to have to start talking through the social media platform as if I'm assuming that I'm talking to my friends.
Exactly. I say that every single time. You want to talk to social media like you're talking to your freaking friends. Yeah. And then what happens is they're going to become your fans and they become your customers. And then they actually become your friends. Because this is my personal opinion, right? One thing I always say is the most important people in your life is your immediate family. And I'll say this, not even your entire family, immediate. For me, immediate family is like grandmother, mom, siblings. And then I have nephews now. So nephews, nieces. That's immediate. I say the next most important people in your life are your customers and your clients.
Yeah.
Because
I'm good at taking care of those people.
Yep. That's what I want to do. Recap.
And homework assignment.
And homework. Recap would be reach out to the first person, schedule a time to meet beginning of April. Reach out to the second person, stating exactly what I mentioned, and set a date for him to come to the studio. You being firm. You're the badass. No more giving them these cool statuses. It's either they want to buy or they don't. Third, I'm going to share a couple videos with you to recreate, right? Now, going to your homework, it's going to be your job to start recreating those videos. You're going to post them on TikTok first, then you're going to post the same video on Instagram. When you share these videos, I recommend 3 to 4 times a week. Once you start posting the stuff we talked about with the qualitative posts, you're gonna stop getting artists, you're gonna start getting your actual ideal buyers. Okay. That's what you want. I'm gonna have to jump off. I just sent you the invite for the next meeting, and then we'll just be going from there.
All right, I'll ping you if I have any questions. Thank you.
Cool. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, you too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Really, really cool call. I think we're on a really, really good track. Right now, she's still getting her momentum going. I think when we do release the Instagram for this artist and everything we're doing, it's gonna be great. Now, she have 2 things going on. I'm kind of giving her overall tips and guidance based on the details inside the training. So I'm here to talk about things at a very high level and just give like these overall concepts, and she's able to understand them and then go through the training to really dial them in as she implements for social media. So it's going to be exciting, and I'm gonna keep you updated. I'm here to talk about is that I've been working with Artist X. The cool thing is, since working with Artist X, we've been implementing mainly 2 strategies. One is a social media strategy to get more exposure, try and land sales. brand new social media account. I mean, I'm talking about like a few days old and already have videos getting over 1,000 views, which is great. And I want to convert those to actual sales. And then 2 is using outside resources to start bringing in some sales and get into conversations. And I just got a text, well, yesterday evening, I'm just seeing it. Basically, Artist X is saying, I fucking did it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call Artist X, say exactly what she did, and hopefully we have some good news. So let's give Artist X a call.
Hi!
Good morning.
Guess what?
Talk to me. What you got for me?
So I actually left our call last night a little bit early because I was so excited to try the script. It turned out that it was the wife's birthday and they were in the car together when I called. I gave them the pitch. They immediately said yes. I offered it to them for $900, which was $100 less than what their budget was. Sent them the invoice and they paid this morning, but they paid the full $1,000 instead of the $900 that I asked for.
That's what I'm talking about.
And they're going to be in town the weekend of my art fair, so I'm sending them VIP tickets to come to the fair. And instead of me shipping it, they want to pick it up so they can see me.
That sounds like a very good evening.
It was a very, very good evening, Jaroid. I am finally breaking through, and I had a huge epiphany about LinkedIn this morning after having that experience. And now I understand why that strategy hasn't been working for me. It's because I'm doing cold sales. These are not warm leads. These are cold leads. So social media is the only way to really warm it up and following up on when people make comments. And so I'm fully focused on that going forward after I finish my day off today.
Yep. And then you also see the power in, instead of trying to get them to come to your studio, just going straight for the sale. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think you're on the right track. Congrats on the sale. I like that you went and took action right after the meeting yesterday. That's what I like. And here's the key thing. I mentioned this last night on the meeting. It's not what you say, is how you go about saying it. In these conversations that you're currently having, you want to always like to say, you want to structure a conversation to where it feels like that person is getting a phenomenal deal. Like, keep in mind, the sale you just made for $900, the person decided to spend an extra $100 just because they felt like they was getting a very amazing artwork and then also a very amazing experience. People pay more for experiences, and that experiences just came from the conversation, which is why I told you, like, you have to say the wording exactly how I mentioned it.
Well, yeah, because that's like what, you are coaching us and teaching us. And, it's interesting because, like, you're really good at laying out the roadmap. And I think that, like, Jonah's stuff about mindset and kind of getting into that pumped up energy when you're talking to someone, like, those two things together are just such a killer combination, man.
I'm definitely happy you're enjoying it. Keep in mind, definitely celebrate your wins. I think you should, like, really pat yourself on the back. And then we're getting back to action, because I want us to be able to talk about a lot the next time we meet. I just make it like, I just like take this momentum and keep it going, That's why I say we just need a little momentum. You just made that sale, which is freaking phenomenal. And now it's like, turn that sale into 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And just keep that momentum going.
The psychology about stacking, like, once you explained that the reason to do stacking is because of the social conditioning that we live in, and I had the experience last night, I immediately understood why LinkedIn didn't work, because people want to be a little warmed up by the time they meet you.
Yeah. I'm laughing because like, you just made this sale and now it's like you talking to me like I'm not me. Like, you said, like, what's crazy? The stacking?
Well, because, like, the reason I talk like that is because listen, dude, I'm obviously a really fucking smart person. I've got, like, 3 degrees, and, like, I've worked on Wall Street, and I've been, like, with some insanely smart, trained by some insanely smart people. Like, I've got a brain, but it's like I have to learn it by experiencing it.
Yeah.
And I'm just sharing with you this moment of like, holy shit, dude, your shit really works, man. It's like magic. I totally see it now. Like, I'm having that moment where like, I can tell that you were right. That's why I kept saying, I'm like, dude, I know your shit's good. I know this is good. I know a good thing when I see it. I know a good thing when I see it. But it's just not in me until I take the steps.
Yeah.
And now it's like, you've created a fucking monster. You have created a monster.
I just wanted to call you really, really quickly and see what the news was. I know you say you fucking did it. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and give you a call.
Jaroid, I'm so grateful for you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for calling, because this is a big moment for me. All I can say at this point is watch this shit. You have a good call. I know you gotta go. I don't want to keep you any longer. I'll talk to you on Wednesday.
Okay, talk to you on Wednesday.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. That's freaking amazing. What I love to hear the most is the energy. Like, it happens every time. I meet a new artist, they have like these goals in their mind, but they just not fully confident, or they just don't really believe or could see it. Some of them have the belief, they just can't see it. So then this state of mind where it's kind of like, hope. It's like a dull state. And it always happens. Every single time. When an artist make that first sale, it's like, holy crap, I could actually do this. It actually freaking work. And what's crazy is by the time they make the third sale, it's like you unleash an entire new artist in that person. Like, the third sale as a whole changed the entire trajectory of their career. Because by the third sale, they have what's called proof of concept. And proof of concept just means like, I could actually do this. Like, this really, really work. And then it's just doing it 10 times and 10 times more. So that was Artist X. I'm gonna end up doing an interview with Artist X when it's all said and done. But it's super cool to hear about the first sale. It's super cool. And it haven't been that long at all. Like, we just started working together. There's a couple bumps we had to like iron out. And then I think she's really understanding the process in full and implementing the process, which lead into these sales. And I think it's great. Like, it's freaking phenomenal. And hopefully this motivates you to want to like freaking crush it, and helps you see like this stuff is actually doable. You can actually sell art and sell art consistently. So it's super cool to see overall. With that being said, I have a meeting starting in 3 minutes. I was going to get something to eat, but I don't even have time. I need to get back to this freaking desk and get in this meeting. Peace. Okay, quick update on Artist X. We actually met 2 more times, which is super, super cool. I didn't document them because there was kind of like quick meetings, just catching up on some things she needs to adjust. But the update, Artist X currently have a couple buyers in a pipeline. She already sold the artwork for $1,000. I documented that, which was super, super cool. Shout out to Artist X. She also just collected another deposit for a $500 sale, which is also really, really cool. And things are just going great. Right now, she started the new TikTok, only have 20 followers, but she had a video that got over 1,000 views, which is also super, super cool. And that's also a $5,000 art sale in the pipeline. So things could get really, really, really interesting for Artist X, which is also super, super cool. What I'm interested in, she just texted me this text stating that she just closed the sale, say sale closed. I'm not sure exactly which sale she's talking about in this particular message, but we're gonna call Artist X and let's see what she's talking about.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Can you hear me?
Oh my God. I can hear you. Oh my God. Can you hear me? Oh my gosh.
I can hear you.
No, it's better. It's better than I just made a sale. It's better than that.
You said it's better than you just making a sale? So you made a sale,
yeah,
and now you're telling me you have something that's even better?
Yeah, it's better than that.
Okay, first.
I made the sale.
Yeah, tell me about the sale first. What happened?
I did what I was told. That's what happened.
I like the sound of you doing what you're told. Sounds like you have a really good mentor.
Oh my God, I have this mentor. I connect you guys, but I don't want him to get distracted. But yeah, I have the actual best mentor for me on planet Earth.
Oh,
and
planet Earth?
Mentor on planet Earth for me. I followed. He gave me the script. My mentor gave me the script. I did exactly what I was told. And I even got my Square account up and running before I walked out the door, because when I got to close the sale, I was like, all right. So, like, he's like, all right, give it to me. And I was like, all right, it's $5K. I was like, it's only $5K. So I made that slight modification. Only $5K. And I said, I'm happy to come do the installation. And he's like, I live up in Connecticut. I got people for that. And I was like, okay, no problem. And I said, and I also would, love to, gift you a large format print of some of my work. And that way you can have, like a more cohesive look to your space. And he was like, great. What form of payment do you take? And here's where it gets better. Then he was like, yeah, so you got this show coming up. I'm like, yeah, man, would you like some? I got a pair of VIP tickets left. Would you like them? And he was like, yeah, and I'll bring this other guy to that too. He collects art too. And I was like, oh, that would be great. And then he was like, yeah, I'd love to see your studio. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm going to have this open studio in May, but like we could do a private one too if you want to just come by. I'm one subway stop away from your office. And he was like, yeah, I'd love that.
Now we talking.
My work is like M&M's. It's not for everybody. Peanut M&M's, we're going to say. Peanut M&M's, not for everybody, but if it's for you, you can't just have one.
Yeah. No, I love this. I love this. So, sale done, sale closed.
Sale done, sale closed, money in bank account.
Did you just collect?
In bag on going with client on train going home to install in his house now. It's done.
Congrats. And you just went for the full sale.
I went for the full sale.
That's
man.
what I like to hear. $5,000 sale. You know what's crazy?
What?
I don't know if you took a moment to think about this or process this. But what's crazy is when we very first met, we set a goal to cross 5,000 in the first 30 days. I don't know if you're
6,500.
We had 6,500. You should go freaking celebrate.
Jaroid, I'm so happy, and I'm also half in tears because I didn't know if I could do it. I didn't know if I was going to be able to make a living doing this. And you have shown me how to do that. And I'm just so grateful, man. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much.
I'll tell you this.
Thank you.
I witnessed you being one of the hardest working artists I ever met. And I think you deserve every bit of it. And like you mentioned to me earlier, we're just getting this party started. Like, you deserve it. We had a very, very detailed conversation when we very first met. And you told me out your mouth, you're like, Jaroid, I'm the hardest working motherfucker you're going to meet. And I'm going to eat, sleep, breathe this process. You just have to teach it. In the beginning, I do feel like those sometimes you probably got a little hard head. I have to remind you, like, hey, just stick to what I teach. Just stick to what I teach. Just stick to what I teach. And as you start to really, really hard in that process and continue working hard, I believe those who like work hard, remain committed, and follow something at work, they will reap the rewards. And I think you just reaping the rewards from the work you put in, which is something you absolutely deserving of. So I think you should be celebrating, seriously. Like, going from, as you mentioned, like not knowing what's going to happen to making 6,500 in 30 days is freaking phenomenal.
Now it's just leveling up.
Exactly.
It's just a leveling up because my real goal is $20K a month.
Time to make it happen. Time to make it happen.
Yeah.
I like to see when goals come to fruition due to hard work and consistency. And I think that's what just happened here. So definitely celebrate. I think you should take a moment to really take in this moment. So take a moment to take in this moment and then process it, be thankful for it, celebrate, and then this is just the beginning.
Yeah, it really is.
Sometimes we work so hard,
It
we
really
get caught up in the process and forget to like take time to celebrate and appreciate the efforts we did put forward to bring in those rewards and those achieve those goals. So just take a moment to do that, just for me. And then
I will.
From there, we'll meet.
I will listen to you.
Cool. Hopefully you decide to like
Incredible.
listen to me now.
Thank you, man. From the bottom of my heart.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you. All right, we both have to go. I'll see you on the call. God bless you, man.
Perfect. I'll see you on the call. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay, you too. Bye.
Bye-bye. What a freaking day. What a freaking day. This artist was at 0. Extremely hardworking artist, and now to cross 6,500 in R sales, that like makes my freaking heart melt. That's absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. So huge shout out to that artist, Artist X. And yeah, we'll do an interview because I can't wait to reveal who Artist X actually is, which is going to be phenomenal. So yeah, with that being said, hopefully you're finding this valuable. Hopefully you're learning a lot from these strategies that I'm using with some of the artists I work with. And hopefully you start applying it to your art career so you could have moments like Artist X. With that being said, see you in the next one. Peace.